if after
All right, so there's that. That was John Cena's own version of the pipe bomb from 2011, and I gotta say, he absolutely cooked Punk. And I know I'm late reacting to this, but I needed some time to kind of, let this sink in my brain and, you know, trying to formulate the thoughts that I have for this because this was his best promo of his entire career, but this was better than the pipe bomb from 2011. I mean, the main reason because it consisted of a lot of truth about CM Punk and a lot of the stuff that he was saying, even though, technically it is scripted, but there was some truth to what he said. Yeah, he eradicated CM Punk. I mean, to me, at this point, I have to say his credibility took a hit, even though he had done that Thugonomics, segment with John Cena on Friday on SmackDown. He dressed up as his former gimmick, the Thugonomics character. Which, listen, Punk is an entertainer. He's good at what he does, right? He was gonna knock that out the park no matter what. But the pipe bomb that John Cena did, to me, the way I view CM Punk after that is his credibility has hit a low. So it doesn't matter what he does after this feud. Okay, he can feud with Seth Rollins a million times over. It don't mean shit. He can win the World Heavyweight Championship from Seth Rollins or Gunther. It won't mean nothing. Because if you think about it, right, let's just get this out the way. John Cena eradicated CM Punk, you know. But I gotta give him credit though, because it's impressive that the dude can like lay down on the table on a crash table for about 11 minutes and completely sell that within it, in that amount of time to just be laying there the whole segment and not move and whatnot. Like I found that kind of impressive. He was selling that whole, AA on the table for over 11 minutes. So I'll give him that much credit. But his pipe bomb from 2011, that's what got CM Punk over. That's what made him go viral. That was his viral moment. That was when he popped. He became a main eventer. He became the guy. Despite what Triple H did to halt that momentum. In our eyes, we looked at CM Punk as him. The one that can equal John Cena or surpass him, which he did for a while. He did surpass John Cena for a while. He was the number one guy. No matter if John Cena was Vince's guy or not, but in our eyes as the fans, ones viewing online, the ones that make our opinions public. I mean, even though I wasn't making no videos at that time, but a lot of people were very vocal about CM Punk. That was his claim to fame. That was his only claim to fame, was that pipe bomb. And it's like everything he had said, it rung true at the time, but it doesn't age well. Compared to John's pipe bomb, it don't age well. Everything he said in that pipe bomb, to me, it made him look like a hypocrite in a sense, made him look bad. And that was his only gripe. Everything he said about Vince McMahon, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, that whole fallout in 2014, and everything he said in interviews and media outside the WWE. I mean, all that means nothing now because the guy's back. here to make money, here to do business, which I respect, but there's a way that somebody can eat their words. There's a way that somebody's words can be used against them later in life. And in this case, this pipe bomb of John Cena's, his words were being used against him in this instance. And it was awesome to me because I was shocked at the things he was saying, to be honest. But a lot of people are going to remember this. And a lot of CM Punk haters and detractors and critics, oh, they're still having a field day. They're going to have a field day for the next couple of years. Because they was screaming, popping in their living room, going crazy once they heard the words John Cena was saying. But this was a segment that was a stick it to CM Punk, right? After all these years of you talking ill the company that you used to work for, when you debuted in AEW, you pretended you was never wrestling. You pretended that, oh, that part of your career never existed, even though that was the majority of your entire career, and that's what put you on the map. So no one can deny that made Punk look really bad on his AEW debut when he decided to denounce the WWE and say, I'm returning to professional wrestling since 2005. And I know a lot of people had a problem with that. But then 2 years later, you come back to that employer that you pretended never existed. Right. Once again, I don't have a problem with CM Punk. It's just this pipe bomb, John Cena's pipe bomb, it revealed a lot. It revealed to a lot of us fans, a lot of us viewers that, about CM Punk. And everything he said in that pipe bomb was used against him, like reverse psychology. It's like, damn, he pulled that off he pulled that off fantastic. Like, he did a wonderful job with recreating that whole pipe bomb. And so it just makes him look really bad and look really weak. And Punk's pipe bomb, to me, looking back at it, I think it stemmed from a lot of jealousy, a lot of hatred, a lot of bitterness. Because he knew that Rock and Cena were going to main event WrestleMania the following year. And him not being, I guess, used to his fullest potential. John Cena's position in the company, him being, quote unquote, the best in the business, the best in the world. And, that was his whole little angle from that. And everything he said about Vince and Stephanie and Triple H. None of it aged well at all. None of it did. The change that CM Punk was referring to, well, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, AJ Styles, those guys, not Roman Reigns, but, most of the guys that I just mentioned, they came from the indies. They came from, the ground up. Like, they busted their ass in Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA. They came from those places. And I know I'm missing more names, but they made a name for themselves and they got over, and, they're the ones that springboard a change, right? And CM Punk wasn't there for it. He wasn't there to see it through. All he did was talk about it on the microphone. And guys like Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, Finn Balor, just to name a few, Sami Zayn, they all saw the change through and executed it during, which was considered a dark period in the WWE from a creative standpoint when the creative was becoming bankrupt. But you still have those names holding it together, still putting on the best wrestling matches, right? There's no denying that. Punk wasn't there for that. So I'm just saying a lot of things like this pipe bomb just it makes you kind of view CM Punk a little bit differently, and it puts everything into perspective of his run coming back. And there's been a lot of highlights of CM Punk. I think him coming back was a smart decision, a smart business move. I think he grew up. I think he mended some fences. He's done a good job doing that. To me, he came off across as a hypocrite when it came to the Saudi situation, throwing criticism and shade toward the Miz at one point for going to take the blood money and wrestling in Saudi, and criticizing WWE for doing business with them. But here he goes. He's in the main event with John Cena in one of their shows. So he was forced to apologize. He was pushed to do that because it was, he was in that situation where he had to. He had no choice. And I don't think that apology was sincere, but whatever, apology is an apology, some people, they just got to apologize due to the pressure that's on them. And it is what it is. A lot of people do that. When some people apologize, they don't really mean that from the heart. They do it because there's pressure from the public to do that. I guarantee you he would have never apologized if there wasn't pressure on him to do it. So in that case, he just ate his own words. His own words came back to bite him. And I love this segment. This is one of my favorite segments of all time, and it's like, damn, the names that he was dropping, I was not expecting that at all. That caught me off guard completely. And 10 times better than Punk's pipe bomb. John Cena's pipe bomb on CM Punk, that was really based off some truth, based off his own frustration the last 25 years. CM Punk's pipe bomb, like I said, it was, to me, it's based off of jealousy, hatred, and bitterness. And and that's my opinion on that. But it just boggles my mind that like this dude laying here for like 11 minutes straight, not moving. Like, it's like, dude got to be sleeping for the last 5 minutes. Like, fuck it, I'm just gonna take a nap. Like, this ain't gonna end anytime soon. Like, I'm not even that hurt, not even that banged up. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna lay here and sleep, pretend like I'm asleep for the next 11 minutes. But this was definitely a highlight for me in John Cena's heel run. The people that are still complaining and still trying to find fault in this heel run, y'all just need to shut up at this point, because none of the stuff that John Cena is being blamed for, or the stuff that's going wrong surrounding his heel turn or heel run, none of it is his fault. Okay, The Rock was supposed to be part of the integral, event, which was WrestleMania, to kind of tie things together, to really make more sense of why John would sell his soul to The Rock. That was never, ever confirmed or explained. So that's always going to be a gap in the storytelling. But his own work that he's been doing has been great. He's been knocking it out the park. You guys are just mad at The Rock at the end of the day. You're not really mad at John Cena. He's doing his best work. And to me, this was his best promo. But see, one thing about John Cena is he can cut you down on the mic. He is capable of really ripping into you. And that's what he did to CM Punk. He's done that to many, many, many wrestlers. And so he's always been a good promo. And I don't think a lot of people give John Cena credit for that. So to me, he really ripped into CM Punk. So let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think this pipe bomb was better than CM Punk's pipe bomb? And do you think there was some truth related to John Cena's pipe bomb on CM Punk? Let me know what you guys think down below. So with that being said, like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. And